weapons and gear. We're holding for deployment.
Reloading. Switching mags.
Enemy soldier incoming.
What up?
I'm getting stitched up.
Are you is music good for you or?
Stand by for deployment.
Okay. Good shit. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff left.
Mark the DZ. Get ready to drop. Helo mark. Press in the area.
Hey, we're doing the heat map real quick. Somebody led red side. I need somebody to grab the hack pack.
Somebody else. Okay.
Pushing too much stuff on my thing, and all of a sudden it starts. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, well, I got a stream up now. Trying to get the hack point done right now. Do. There it is. He's already got that. They're getting that. I got this.
Moving here.
Okay, when you think of what you're doing with the channel, are you going to try to do it under contractor, or are you going to try to do it under company?
Watch for nearby enemy activity on your TAC map. Good hunting.
Got enemies around. Eyes up. This sector's hot. Moving.
You still there? Barely. Maybe it's on my end. Let me put mine towards headphones instead of game. Alright, let me take my power cord out too. Loyalty cost me more than these diamonds and chains. More than long nights, more than tears and pain, and stay tiptoes. Alright, well, I'll put it this way. Answer them if you want to. That's up to you, okay? If you 1099 them, it's all underneath your personal SSN. And if you have a potential issue, like, I don't know, there's a YouTuber guy right now that is trying to help a family in Utah. It's making national news. It's now on the federal court level. Okay? If, not saying that you would have that scenario, but if you are in a situation to where they try to come snatch your shit, are you able to separate yourself from the company, or are you attached to it? Because if they come in after something, are they coming after the company or you personally? You know what I mean? Not exactly. Say again. Separation of you from the company? Correct. Correct. Now the question is how do you do it? I'm trying to intermittent pick in your brain and to see if you've even thought of these processes. If not, I'm queuing shit for you.
Contract complete. All supply boxes secured.
Never gave me shit. Because if you were to look up upper end company structures, there's a company, there's a holding company, there's a land company, there's a this company, there's a that company, and they're all within the same corporate structure. Okay, so you'd be quite surprised. You got your phone, right? Go type in a company called ethoslife.com on Google. No. Life.com. Should come up with the green site. Should be something about an insurance company, correct? P5 no limit. Balling on another hemisphere. People, Mr. Hemisphere. Mr. Hemisphere. If you were to sign up for said company and receive said, I can now. If you were to call said company and request a quote and go through the process and possibly obtain something that fits you, okay? The further you scroll down that site, you're going to learn that that site offers a $1,000 trust for free. Okay, now if you decide to no longer continue services with said provider, that is your choice. But if you do the correct things with that nice little sheet of paper they give you after you fill out all the information, you can go to the irs.gov website and get an EIN for it for free. If you want to check the website, you can. It's legit, 100%, fully legal, fully lawful. You don't need no money to get this stuff. Now, personally, the insurance policy might cost you, I don't know, $40. maybe 100, depending on what size policy you get. But once you get the trust in hand, and you get an EIN, and you do the proper trust paperwork, you can do a whole lot of things. And the tax code benefits you. It's not a hindrance. It's an incentive program. You have to know how to get the incentive. Okay? Yeah, I only heard up to disconnect everything.
Dude, yeah, I'm using my earbuds right now, and my right one, because it was dead, it like turned off both the earbuds for some reason, even though my left one's fully charged.
Gotcha. Okay.
Your squad made it to the safe
What it breaks down to is once you can get, if you choose to snatch the insurance policy, you get the benefit of the thing. If you no longer want the insurance policy, the thing still exists. Because now it's a document in your hands. And then you do the proper paperwork to be the people in the thing. And you figure out how they work. And you do the things that you're supposed to do as the person you are supposed to be within that thing. Okay? Once that's understood on what, when, where, why, and how, dude, the capabilities that open up upon that are ridiculous. Oh, insanely ridiculous. And everything becomes a business deduction. Why? Because you are in the benefit of the best interests of that thing. Correct. I'm keeping it vague because I'm on stream, but you understand. Okay. Once you assign yourself to that thing and you become what they call themselves within it, starts with a T.
Success means redeployment. Failure means elimination.
You can do things in benefit of it because you are in it and you have the paperwork for it. I just showed you how to do it. Oh, you'd have to build it by hand. And for that, you must start understanding what's called UTC. Universal Trust Codes. It's a whole... I mean, you don't have to, but you might want to have pre-legal check. But yeah, it's not a requirement. As long as you don't do stupid-ass things for dumbass reasons. And you keep everything paperwork-wise perfectly trackable. They can't. It gets bad for them. Because, I'll put it this way. I figured out what the fuck the rich meant when they said you will own nothing and be happy. I figured out how to do it. And I'm actively showing you. Because technically, you don't personally own shit. The trust does. Correct. 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 And if they are assigned said inheritance and said things, they can only benefit from said contract. So if you start doing things with your channel that are in the means of a company instead of, hey, I just have personal extra income that I can go fuck around with, it makes a vast difference in what you can do. For example, I don't know if you watch anything in the 1320 or drag racing world, but you know who Cletus McFarland is, right? He structured corporate. And Cletus's whole thing is McFarland Media. Everything, his aviation field, the Freedom Factory, the fact that he's half owner in Bradenton Dragway now, like, that's all structured. And it's not on him. It's on his company. He doesn't own shit. For God's sakes, this year alone, he's giving away 365 turbos. Anywhere between a 64, 66, clear up to an 88. Just for somebody who bought some merch. Randomly call them and say, hey, you want a 64, 77, or an 88? And then randomly throw it in their order. Why? Because they bought a sticker. Now, flip side to that. That's a sponsorship, right? That's a tax write-off. You are charitably donating a $2,000 turbo once a day on the cheap end. A $2,000 turbo. $1,500, let's go, for a 64. An 88's north of, depending on where you buy it, $5,000. Give. Correct. It's called tax mitigation. It is a complete 100 lawful and legal structure to do. Now, avoiding taxes altogether, that's illegal. You'll go to jail for that. But tax mitigation through proper planning is 100% legal. Well, okay. I'll put it this way, and since you got your phone, fact check this one. There's a nice little M state that's down in the South that decided to say, hey, no, fuck you, never again. Check into that real quick. It's about 3 years old. And they are now number 8 state that doesn't pay taxes. Period. That made national news a couple years ago. Mississippi opted out of paying taxes, period.
Enemy hunters were taken out. You're in the clear. Bounty target's gone dark. We lost the contact.
Reloading. Taking effective fire.
Gas is closing in. Relocating safe zone.
Correct?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Oh, they cut out again. You find anything about that?
Switching back.
Home screen. You'll still be in Discord. What? Oh, that sucks. Did you find anything about that though? Mississippi opted out of paying taxes. It made national news a couple years ago. How the fuck? How can they do that if taxes are mandatory? They were never mandatory to begin with. It's an optional system. On whose account? Well, okay. No, the trust is. You're not. No, the trust doesn't go nowhere. The corporation receives problems, though, in form of extra fines, penalties. See, but if you were to look up personal taxes bracket, we're up to about 35%. A trust in proper formation pays a corporation tax of no more than 22, maybe 23. And if you do things properly, it gets very interesting because you can find things like, I don't know, the tax code 179. Yeah, 6,000 pound vehicle, you can get what's called depreciation value on it. And you can file that for one tax year and receive all the depreciation for those years in one tax filing. Hey, check out 100,000 pound, or 6,000 pound, $100,000 TRX Trackhawk. Well, I'm kind of giving you the tax code that allows you to do it. You're just going to have to come up with the structure to put it in to be able to receive that said incentive. Because if you do it properly and you need to write off or offset something, such as $100,000, you know, because your channel's getting to, it's given so much money that you got to do some sort of giveaway. That giveaway and everything received within that giveaway is a charitable donation offsetting your income coming from YouTube. Well, when you get to the point of being able to, okay, did they give the reason why you don't fit it? That's something new.
Yeah, I thought that was very true. I thought it was like a regular appeal where I just like answered questions and like since it was the reviewing or whatever. No, they want me to make a 5-minute video, and in the first 30 seconds I have to put the URL in the video so they can find my URL.
They're YouTube. How can the fuck can they not find it? Ask for a manual review and do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. AI. How many people are actually paying attention at 3 o'clock in the morning to answer a business call on night shift? And if you do get somebody and you have a conversation, you'd be like, hey, you know, while you're talking to them, I'm this, I'm that, I've got all this explained on my page. I'm just trying to see if I get members. I'm doing pretty good. This is what my stats tell me. Blah, 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 blah. They'll give you the reason yes or no, and you'll get all your answers right then and there. Otherwise, they're going to approve you, and you're going to get what you want anyway. It's also the fastest way to a financial application as well, especially with a new bank. But when you do everything, you got to put it in a certain manner. And when you go and get things from a company like that and it gives you the access, the availability to do that, you have to let the state know. I'd ask chat to run you through it.
Me and Chat GPT are pretty good friends. I use them a lot.
Okay. Well, with that being said, hmm. Okay. I could send you a base structure. And you do with what you do. This is solely a structure. What you do and how you do and when you do is you. But I can point you in a very direct direction if you are looking for generational growth with known investment strategies and the use of that little thing I just showed you. And a company kind of like the company I just showed you, but there's also another one. I would look into what are called IULs, Index Universal Life Insurance Programs. The A to B option, what it is less death benefit and more cash value. Instead of receiving a disbursement of quarter, it is reinvested back into the investment for the investment, compounding the investment. Have you been following any type of presidential financial type things going on? Okay. All right. With the investment type thing, if you were to look into what are called the Ted Cruz Invest America Act, what it was is anybody, all the new children that are being born, the government's putting $1,000 in an account for them. That friends, family, this is the same thing. Only instead of allowing them to control it, you have control of it. You wouldn't have to go file with the state. You would have to go file with ever law firm that you would choose to be the representation or the fiduciary for your trust. Okay, I grew up watching a lot of documentaries. There were always charitable donations by the Carnegie Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, and other charitable wings. That foundation is the charitable wing within the trust structure. It is also a charitable wing within all corporate structures. You make over 30 G's, you cross into corporate territory and you need an S Corp and a C Corp. One of them holds property, one of them employs people. The one that holds things is ran by the things that employ people. And when it's properly structured, you ain't got to pay more than 22% corporation tax. That's it. But under 1099 contractor, if you don't put it in an LLC, you're going to run it just like you would be running Uber, Lyft, Instacart. They're all 1099 contractors. Well, if you put it on a 1099 contract, it goes on your W-2. You put it under LLC, it goes under corporate. I mean, you'll grow into the corporate structure eventually. You know, prime example, Cletus. He doesn't personally own any of that. His companies do. You ever watched Daily Driven Exotics?
Not familiar.
Two Canadians with the Lambos doing dumb shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And every set of paperwork they have is corporate paperwork from a corporation in Canada. Nothing's on their personal SSNs or however they do it up there. It's all under company paperwork. It's a company vehicle. I do company things in the company vehicle for stupidity reasons because I get paid for doing things in the car. He went full corporate structure. LLC, you don't take pay. Pay's illegal in an LLC structure. You have to take an owner's draw. It gets really lovely. And then once you, depending on how you want to do it, you know, because, for example, YouTube's already chucking in when you get to that point. You take that and rotate it back into the channel. You get, you go have your capture card installed. Cost you $100 to have it done. Plus you got your computer cleaned. That's a business expense. And so is the gas taking it to the store. But like I was saying with the 6,000-pound vehicle, okay? Since you and me both have that nice little uniform that we earned, in 2018, they passed a law that allows us to have access to surplus things at vast, cheap rates. So, it was federal law passed. What up, Kiwa? If you were to check a channel called, I think it's called Up Flip. There's a gentleman in there that is talking about honey. And it's covered within that episode because the gentleman that created the honey company used this exact thing that I'm speaking of to obtain his tow trailer, to obtain his 2500 Chevy equipment truck. You know, like when you go to a company and you already own a phone, but you want a new phone, but they say you got to pay the taxes on it. Same concept. Only it gives us access to that. instead of going to a dealership and, you know, possibly writing off an F-250 or a, you know, a Raptor, 6,000-pound vehicle. You can write off other things. And when you get to the point of needing to write off 100 G's, you can get another vehicle. And then give it away. And then you don't owe the U.S. 100 grand in taxes. Why? You offset it by a $100,000 charitable vehicle. I said peekaboo, Kiwa. Do you not hear me in chat? That's crazy. I don't know. It's Kiwa. He's cool as hell, but like 90% of the time he's drunk. He's Russian. Or somewhere within that region. He's a cool ass dude. That dude popped up on the stream consistently for like 6 to 8 months. Dude's funny as fuck. I mean, I had some loyal people when I consistently popped on consistently. Now that I'm back into streaming on the game and random IRLs, I mean, I got a lot of people coming back. So, but most of the time, my U.S. personnel, when I get into conversations like these, they glass over and pass by. It goes one in ear, in one ear and out the other. They glass over, and it's like a flight straight over their heads. I'm dead serious, dude. They glass over so quick, it's fucking retarded. The only way I can explain it, I guess it's possibly the way I do it. I'm very passionate about the knowledge, and it comes as what I've been told and experienced. And you were a part of that conversation. Most people feel highly disrespected. Like I'm trying to overspeak them. When I'm just trying to test knowledge of where they're at to gauge conversation. She's directly behind my chair, Kiwa. Okay. Appreciate that. Well, I mean, have you heard recently what the VA is doing? Oh, are you signed up to the VA newsletter through email? Okay. They are doing, how should I put this? New ground-breaking research in certain fields for PTSD victims. They went to the top of the chain on this one. They went full top of chain on this one. They're saying 1 or 2 interactions with it and the person no longer has any sign of it. No, Kiwa, this is a little higher than that. No, Kiwa, this is Warzone. Ibogaine. That is the non-synthesized ayahuasca. True original chemistry. Only produced by putting things together like they do in those regions for shamanic reasons. It's like if you look into a whole bunch of things right now, anything that has an alkaloid in it is off limits.
Good work. Hold down the point until it's secure.
Alkaloid compounds give you the craziest trips, but they're short. Well, this is speaking through clinical. Because there are gentlemen like, I don't know, Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. You know, those such episodes that appear on HBO or Vice. They cover such topics in higher education school fashion and terminology. Like, the dude's a straight up nerd when it comes to chemistry. And he puts it in manners that if you start to catch it as it's coming and you start riding his train, you pick up on a lot of shit real quick. So, and they're finding out that certain chemicals, like the one you had just said, are naturally produced by the body. Well, if it's naturally produced by the body, how can you increase production? We've covered that topic already. Crazy enough. And it was a certain verse. You reach what's called extended autophagy. Certain things start getting very clear. Well, this is where Dick Gregory meant once you put these goggles on, you can't take them off. If you've ever been in a scenario to where you've had to seriously fast, whether intentional or unintentional, you have put your state into clarity, and you don't see things like everybody else does. There's a reason why monks are of higher vibration than most people. They've cleared certain pathways. And this is known science in the East. We just don't see it that way. But our science is starting to catch up to what the East has been saying for decades and centuries. This one will probably baffle you. You ever heard of quantum entanglement? they caught it in a picture. Guess what it looks like?
Go on, ammo box here.
It's the yin yang symbol. So if quantum entanglement, which is fairly understandably new to science, is a yin yang symbol, what have they been trying to tell us for centuries? I mean, it sounds absolutely stupid. But when you start asking questions and you start finding answers that don't make fucking sense, and it's groundbreaking science, it ain't a coincidence no more. Like, the Eastern world has known about this for a long time. And the U.S. is only, what, 250 years old?
Yeah.
When is the definition of Caucasian pop up? Correct. When does that definition appear? Yeah, I have an AK build, Kiwa.
Recon contract mark. Swapping magazines.
Mark the point on your map containing enemy intel. Capture it. Head into next gas spread. Loadout drop headed your way.
That definition is only about 275 years old. Is it 1781? 1751? And to be defined as Caucasian, you must be from the Caucasus Mountains. Where are the Caucasus Mountains? Fairly close.
Check your map for the next gas spread location.
It's actually Georgia. And I don't mean the state. Correct. But you see my point. We're the new kids on the block.
Bounty targets identified. Weapons free.
I don't know about you, but I'm American. I can't exactly say I was from over there or born over there or understand anything from over there.
Get to the safe zone.
Other than it's over there. Ooh, that's how we do it. Okay, so it's going to be played like that. Wow. Yeah, okay, so they're going to start answering like that. Eat dick, that's why you missed them all, fucker. Hello, he's not, though. God damn it. He tried to Kobe it and missed. Damn, that's crazy. Let's see, what is this one? Wow, this new casual sucks. You ever tried resetting your lobbies?
Stay alert. Forget that.
You're gonna have to completely land out with the AFKers. 2-3 games, die. Start to make a kill on the third one and tank it. It should reset it to where it puts you in a lower sat. If you guys are mid-conversation and you get killed, even if you get shit on, good kill. It changes your lobby. It puts you in rooms and lobbies like other personnel. So if somebody else, good conversation, you're having a genuine good conversation, you will get more personnel like that. Because it... And see, this is why I come to Discord. You can talk all the shit you want. The stream still hears you, everything. But you can't catch a chat ban for nothing. You're not in game chat. So if you catch a chat ban from that point in time, you can just clip it from the stream and show the screen indicating you were not in game chat. They have to lift the ban. Because otherwise, what the fuck did they ban you for? It don't work like that. And if you just happen to be an LLC company, they kind of can't do certain things. Somebody makes a claim and you get negated from streaming and your revenue income source is stream, you can seek damages. Because you were stopped from being able to stream, which would have generated a possible $50, $100, $200, $300, $1,000, whatever you might have got that stream. And I know you're saying, shit, I ain't gonna catch that in a single stream. I said the same shit. And quite literally, within a single stream, got $250 in donations. I mean, I used to fucking not think this shit either. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. And as long as you keep it as a speed bump and you learn the lesson intended from the interaction and or scenario, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's when you see it as outright obstacles that you can't get around, it becomes the issue. Well, I'll put it this way. Well, outside of him telling you, how can you verify what he's telling you? Okay.
I guess that's the only downside. I mean, I trust him. Whatever that, he keeps everything pretty consistent. He does a pretty good job.
I mean, unless you personally know him.
No, I know, but
And this is what
if
I
a hit there,
this is what I've come to figure, okay? In dealing with all of the things that are coming. Oh, how should I put this without trying to fucking cue this thing? Because once I cue this thing, it becomes an asshole. You have a 2. No, you have a 2.0 person on your feeds, correct? Do you actually know that person? Okay, I got one of those that tries that. Well, he's not polite. No, to the extent some stupid things have been released just because of shits and giggles. You know what doxing is? Consistently. I'm not saying it's him, okay? I'm going to make that abundantly clear. I have a guy that does that, okay? However, certain tendencies are being seen on my end. Now, I'm not saying that this person is, in fact, showing these tendencies, okay? I may be just new to the scenario and may not have a full understanding of all the scenario. And I'm okay with that. But if they stay friendly, they never have the intent to do that. But if they get pissed off and they start acting out, that's their next logical move. Well, that I understand, but you just did this nice little thing. They said you got to redo that, right? You got to wait until a certain. You got to wait till a certain day to do something. Correct. That's a public document. Anything you put on that thing is public and can be found. And the reason why I brought in the other company and that certain structure I was speaking of is because when you do that properly, you can't be named. Because your name is nowhere on any paperwork that's public side. You're not the one that owns it. You're not the one that's a beneficiary of it. It owns itself and has a structure. Otherwise, how are certain foundations and corporations still up and running? Because when certain things go into bankruptcy, that's trust law. Quite literally. And you can look up any public filing of any corporation that has ever gone into bankruptcy, and that will be trust filing. So it gets very interested at that point in time. And here's the last linking thing to it. When the graduating class is presented, it is presented by the Board of Trustees. Those are only assigned to one structure. They hold public office. They have been elected in. And they hold office in our most basic education buildings. A school is a trust. So is the Board of Education. Now here's another way to look at the military. Each branch is a non-revocable trust. Within the non-revocable trust, there are revocable trusts, such as the enlisted wing, the officer wing, and the warrant officer wing. They all have their separate ones. You have to do certain paperwork to become each one of them. And we, as veterans, have a higher classification of citizen than the average citizen does. Things greatly change when you understand how the structure is presented. Prime example, an LEO, law enforcement officer, does something, violates his oath. He has broken the public trust. They're not speaking our trust in the officers. They're speaking paperwork. There are public laws. There are also county ordinances and state laws. When you understand the structure, you understand how to navigate within it. And it's very interesting on how it works. You're good. Appreciate the timing on the ears, too. Now, what fucking song is this in the damn playlist? Oh, fuck. Thank you. That got off on some way weird shit. That should have been a 2-hour track, and the last one I should have been on was Can't Be Broken by Lil Wayne.
Use this time for some target practice. The real thing's coming soon.
We'll try this again. There we go. Energy. But to start an LLC, you're looking at like maybe $100 in state filing fees. And then you go from that to getting an EIN. The EIN allows you to get a bank account. When you fill out all your paperwork for the company or YouTube, you put in all the company's information. It's a company. It's the media wing of said company. you know, you might have to check your state filings, but you might want to check and see if, you know, your name tag LLC or whatever you want to call it, LLC, blah, 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 check. Make sure it's okay. 9 times out of 10, you'll find out that it is okay. If you find out the name's clear and free, file for it. You have just now incorporated you. This is where things start getting very interesting. You said your mom knows tax codes, or the responsible party knows tax codes, correct? Okay. Within the company structure, there are tax codes that incentivize you to teach your little one how to structure. And through tax, correct. I believe it's somewhere up to about $10,000 a year on their part that they pay in, because you have the paperwork that says you have kids in the company that help with the company. I.e., you want them to learn how to, you know, take out trash, do dishes, be home on time, blah, blah, blah. That's your structure you choose. That's what you're teaching them through the company. Interactions as such can be incentivized through codes. And if you take those things to a company like I showed you, or an Index Universal life insurance company, and you take that money that has been incentivized to you and you invest it into that for them, that's a business deduction. And their premium is a business. What you have to pay for their premium is a business deduction. You moving them around in a vehicle, you got to have a nice high quality vehicle for that, right? 179 tax code, depreciation value. If you were to pop out and look at it right now, I'll give you the quick gist of what it tells you, okay? You can write off, let's say it's up to 40% across 5 years in one taxable year. That's 40% on 100 grand. That's $40,000. Your $100,000 vehicle now only has a balance of $60,000. If you apply that 40 grand back at the vehicle. But because you got incentivized, 40 grand come off of the vehicle. You now have 40 grand in equity. You can cash out the equity, sell the contract off to somebody else, and if they have a corporate structure, they can do the same tax codes. If they don't, the tax codes stop benefiting at 5 years after production date. This is why you will not find a rental car company with a car older than 5 years old. They are depreciating their vehicles within the first 3 calendar years. By the time they get 50, 60,000 miles on them, within 3 calendar years, they get rid of the vehicle. Correct. Because any loss in the car is written off. And that's exactly how they do it. Or somebody crashes the vehicle, they have to do an insurance filing on it. The insurance filing says the totaled vehicle because the airbag's deployed. You replace the airbags, you get a salvage title. You reset everything. You sell the car with a known salvage title on it. You can get 60%. You can get 60% of what you paid for that vehicle back. Prime example. Hey, prime example. Stradman just lost his Murcielago to a fire. He still owns the vehicle, or his company does. At one point in time, he was running a Regera HH, the only one assigned to North America, period. That is a very specialty car. That's an asset. Any other type of car is not an asset. It's a liability. You got to pay for oil, blah, blah, blah. If it's not covered under a corporate structure, it's a liability. First thing Shaq did, and he said this on multiple occasions, first thing he did was he incorporated his family, because everything becomes a tax deduction at that point in time. And you're going to find all these things to be highly beneficial in the conversation that you're probably going to have in the next 2 days. Or whenever you have conversation with said professional. What up, Appleweed?
Contract complete. But the discount.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna get ready to go pick up my son.
All right, boss. You coming back on?
They'll fight for a chance.
I'll probably
No, I'll be here in Discord. That works.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
All right, boss.
Alright, man, take it easy.
All right. This is from holding on too long. I love my heart like a name on a chart. All right, let me flop over to here. What up, boss? How's everybody doing? Who got the mic? You got a mic? You got a mic? I'm going to say Unicorn doesn't have a mic. All right.
They're redeploying now.
We just over here getting this new BR casual. It's got these things flying everywhere. I mean,
Checking map. I've marked a point containing enemy intel nearby.
it is what it is.
Information on the next gas.
And there's kind of like no timer here. I mean, there is, but there's not.
I'm reloading. I'm reloading.
And if you haven't started your Warzone update, I would do so, Johnny. Woo, hey, buddy. Sit down for me, please. Thank you. How you doing? Thanks for your box. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, don't be chucking no rounds at me. I chuck darts back. They hurt and explode.
Hold down the point until it's secure.
Oh, you fucker. You sat down before I could get you. You know what? I'm gonna just whip out these and slap the fuck out of you. Fucking up my recon.
Finally, back at full strength. I'm reloading.
Capture complete. Hell of it. Uploading information on the next gas. Trade and survive.
Reloading.
Head to the safe zone.
Do-do-do.
Reloading. Reloading.
Capture and secure it to get ahead of the next gas spread.
Ah. Who's just firing at me? Do it again. I dare you. Oh. Do. Where?
Enemy dropping into the AR.
Requesting close air. Target marked. Ammo's almost dry.
HKD is ready for delivery.
Squad mates